Bit of backstory. Sometimes on Friday afternoons, my mates and I would go exploring in the bush in Oxford Falls, often riding our bikes or taking photos. We'd pretty much covered the entire area and discovered some fascinating hidden spots. One day, one of us noticed something unusual on a local fire trail that none of us had previously noticed. We decided to follow what appeared to be a natural rock track, and it led us past a small creek catchment and eventually to a clearing. In this remote, overgrown area, we stumbled upon two very rusty, ancient cars, at least 50 years old, were parked nearby. We entered one of the caravans, mainly because it was less overgrown and seemed relatively normal inside. As the daylight faded, we decided against venturing deeper into the bush to explore the other sheds. We continued down the clearing, which appeared to be forming a dirt road. Further down, we spotted a Nissan sedan that hadn't moved in years. About 20 meters away, a massive tin house or shed came into view. We inspected the car, hoping it would start or yield some clues, but we had no luck. Next to the large shed, there was a green car. As we approached it for a closer look, something orange inside the car caught my eye. I quickly realized that someone had been watching us for the past 5 minutes. The observer appeared to be wearing an orange high-vis shirt. It was peculiar that he had just stared at us without saying a word or even exiting the car. At the time, fear overcame us and we hastily retreated to the fire trail, never catching a glimpse of the man's face. We began referring to that place as the caravans, and my friends and I occasionally returned to see if the man was still in his car. We went back about 4 times before giving up completely. Every time we visited, the man remained in his car, never leaving. I dared never approach him, too afraid to get too close, and eventually the novelty wore off and we stopped going there. Nearly 6 months later though, on Friday, August 25th, my friend and I decided to go for a bike ride on the fire trail after hearing news about a local building a new bike track there. After riding the track, we couldn't resist the urge to revisit the caravans to see if anything had changed. Trees and branches had fallen, concealing the trail, likely due to the strong winds the previous week. This time, my friend and I checked every single shed, searching for anything unusual. We found a collection of random objects, nothing overly suspicious, but the place had a faint smell of asbestos. What caught my attention though was the outline of a veranda behind thick bamboo. We cautiously made our way over, but the fragile wood gave me pause. After some persuasion from my friend, we walked along the veranda until we reached a half-open, glass-sliding door. It was around 5:45 by this time, and darkness was setting in. My friend was eager to leave due to the eerie atmosphere, but we had stumbled upon a completely abandoned house. Inside, we encountered something incredibly unusual. The entire place was littered with thousands of bottles of beer and various spirits. I couldn't fathom how someone could accumulate such an immense collection of alcohol, even in a lifetime. We also spotted a broken guitar, old books, and a film camera in the study. My friend was quite frightened at this point, so I took the film camera and left the house. We decided to return the following week in daylight for a more thorough exploration. While walking around the veranda, I noticed scattered pill packages, some open and others sealed. There were about 10 to 15 packets scattered in that small area. The drug was labelled carbamazepine, which I had no knowledge of at the time. It had an orange hue, and I took a photo of the drug name to research it later when I got home. It turned out that carbamazepine was an anticonvulsant used to treat seizures and neuropathic pain, with connections to bipolar disorder and epilepsy treatment. Further research revealed its potential side effects, including heart disturbances, aplastic anemia, thyroid dysfunction, reduced urine production, and metabolic disturbances. On September the 1st, my friend and I returned to the house, determined to uncover its secrets. The interior was quite disturbing. The kitchen was infested with maggots and covered in massive spiderwebs, with food long past its use-by date scattered all about. We revisited the study, but found nothing particularly odd. However, we did come across some documents from 2008 suggesting that the house had not been entered or altered in quite some time. As we ventured deeper into the house, we heard strange noises coming from the roof, possibly caused by a possum. We stumbled upon a room that was meant to be a laundry, but the roof had collapsed and trees were growing inside, indicating the house's age. The peculiar noises prompted us to leave the laundry room and quickly check the kitchen's fridge, which was filled with maggots and a nauseating odor. We spent a few minutes taking photographs of everything. I wanted to explore more areas of the house, but the abundance of beer bottles scattered on the ground deterred us. We didn't want to risk making noise and alerting the man in the green car who was parked nearby. We couldn't see his face, but he remained in the same position, just staring straight ahead. My friend and I attempted to sneak closer to get a better look, but he was too frightened to approach. We decided to navigate through the bush and find a road back home. There was a property owner with a large mansion we had seen the previous week, but no one was home then. As we approached, the owner ended his call and approached us with apparent anger, questioning why we were on his property. There were no clear signs indicating that we were trespassing, and the dispute was eventually resolved. We shared our discovery of the strange house, and the property owner informed us that the man in the green car was named Les, and warned us not to provoke him because he was not entirely stable. He used to wander the bush in a white lab coat. The house we had explored belonged to his father, but we forgot to ask why it appeared bombed and filled with alcohol. The property owner directed us to the road, and the mention of Les left me more curious about the house's history and the man himself. My friend and I walked home. After reviewing the photos I had taken that afternoon, I noticed something on the walls in one of the images that resembled blood, though I couldn't be certain